Hi, friends. Host Eric here, host Talking with Famous People, and a long-time friend of the show, long-time participant, light bulb. That's a good question. How does an ESTJ act when they are, to the best of their ability, authentically showing love, caring, kindness, whatever? Well, I believe I'm well equipped to answer this question because my father is an ESTJ who loves me very much, to the best of his ability. And it's true, often look like something other than love. It might look like cordiality, for example. Here's an example of ESTJ genuine, heartfelt love and affection. Son, dad, here's here's another example of really mushy ESTJ affection. Eric, when's the last time you checked your oil? I couldn't tell you that. It's been a while, to be honest. Let's go look at it. Okay, Dad. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah. Or something along the lines of, "How you doing? Okay? Yep. You're good, Dad. That's good. Pat, pat, pat." That's about the full extent of ESTJ expressiveness, really. I mean, I hug my dad, and he kind of awkwardly kind of pats me. Dad, I'm effusive in my affection for my father, who's fantastic. I love the shit out of him. He's as TESI as you could possibly be. He's like nothing but TE and SI. His feelings are way down there in the fourth slot. And but he's great. I really he's good to me. He's always been good to me. He's always taken care of me and watched out for me and then for Delilah, he's been a great grandparent for Delilah. And he's a rock. He's the rock. Mom's getting, you know, she's not quite herself anymore. Sometimes she is still, almost. But dad's the same. Dad's unchanged. Says things like, when he makes big life announcements like he did not that long ago, which was a big, I can tell when it's a big life announcement to him. It's something I already knew, of course. Of course. It's like, well, your mother and I have decided to write it out here in the house. I know, Dad, of course. I mean, he's been doing a lot of life planning shit right now, death planning shit, which is kind of morbid and kind of depressing. But what else do you do if you're TESI and your wife's going downhill? I try to be there for him more, but he's really not interested in emotional support. He doesn't understand very well purposeful, I mean, not non purposeful communications, right? Like, his communications are very task oriented all the time and about logistics and stuff. Um, well, yeah, ESTJs. I know another ESTJ too. It's a little bit less heavy. My friend Al Areno, he's an ESTJ, and he shows affection and kindness by hosting ridiculously rules driven parties. So, like, Dave and I went to this party up there, and Nobody's allowed to eat anything until all of the food is cooked. Uh, And nobody's allowed to do karaoke until after you eat. Before you eat is when the karaoke guy is just playing DJ songs. Now, I mean, any of these rules in and of themselves might be fine and might make sense for a party, but it's he's got everything he's supposed to have for the party and something else too. He's got an ice machine, right? So you can get as much ice as you want, which is good for me because I don't drink alcohol. And but for people who drink mixed drinks too, it's good for them.
That's funny. I actually looked up buying an ice machine for the house, and they're like thousands of dollars. I was like, oh, time to search for something else. The one
And
that one makes like the little pellet ice. That's what I wanted. Yeah, I can't. That's never
he's
gonna
got a
happen.
badass one. But you know why? It's because he's a former horse trainer, and you have to have an ice machine to be a horse trainer. Basically, you need a lot of ice for horses, I guess. Anyway, he was a racehorse trainer. But his business, I mean, his parents were in the racing business back in the day. His dad was a jockey and stuff like that. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. The ice machine, its utility far, far exceeds whatever utility you got out of it from the racetrack because everybody appreciates being able to get as much ice as you want. I don't think he had the little pellet ones though. I think he had the thin squares, the not very thick squares.
Mm-hmm. I was
But
specific. I wanted it to be the pellets.
well, I don't know.
Yeah.
He might have had another setting. Maybe he didn't put it on. I don't know. Maybe it only did the squares. Hard to say. Regardless, it put out a shitload of ice. That thing was a high volume ice machine. So anyway, that's how ESTJs show you love. They bust out the ice machine for their parties. They make weird rules about when you're allowed to eat and when you're allowed to sing. And they also pat you on the back and say, "Son, if you know an ESTJ, look for these signs. That's how they're saying, 'I love you. You're really important to me.'" They just don't know any other way to do it.